That's the recompense that's coming to these other nations, man. Starting with you so-called white people, man. You know what recompense means? That's what the Bible's talking about right now. A recompense. Payback. Only a fool, only an idiot, a walking ape, okay? An ape. Only an ape thinks that you can, you know, commit all these atrocities across the globe and then think there's no payback, there's no consequence for it. All right?
Can I say something? If you pan the camera around, you see the countenance of these people, they in a spirit of joy and mirth.
Yeah.
But pretty soon they're gonna be miserable, man.
That's right.
You know?
That's right, man.
They're gonna be in misery, like that movie called Misery, man. They're gonna be in misery, man. They're gonna be in straits. They're gonna be held in derision, man. They're gonna be brought low, man.
Brought to confusion.
Yep.
I got some. This is Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. No. Start at 12. Where are they? Where are the wise men, thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know that the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Tazabawath, had purpose unto Egypt, upon Egypt. And Egypt is talking about America, man. It ain't talking about ancient Egypt, man. All right? The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Naph are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt. Even they are the stay of the tribes thereof, meaning the families of the earth, man. Meaning the tribes of the earth, they leaned on these ancient wise men. It says the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man that staggereth in its own vomit. Meaning you're gonna be brought to humility, man, because of what and who you trusted in. All right? What's that scripture? I think that's Isaiah 13. Men's heart failing them for
fear.
Yep.
You're looking upon those things. I think that's Luke.
Hey, get it if you know it, you know. All right? Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation. In other words, indignation, you got recompense, redemption, all right? All revolving around what? The salvation of Israel, man, all right? The Lord is not happy. The Most High and His Son is not happy with the conditions of the earth. The Most High and His Son is not happy with the state of His people. So you will know, now it's more. It says, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Meaning your mind is gonna fail you, man. This guy, you ain't gonna make it. This guy ain't gonna make it. When all hell break loose, you know, turmoil or martial law, he ain't gonna make it.
He's a draftable age, man.
Yeah.
Because there is going to be a draft, man.
God.
Hey, I got this precept, Luke 21, verse 25, it says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations. So we're starting to see those distress of nations. You know, you got the Rex Tillerson, right?
Yep.
You got Rex Tillerson talking about the days of being patient towards North Korea's nuclear program is over, man. So they're threatening war. You know, these Edomites, right, they need to take a good look at their politicians, man, because they're going to be responsible for the death of millions of these Edomites, these average Edomites in this society, man. With the decisions that they're going to make. The decisions that these politicians are going to make is going to lead to the death of millions of these citizens, man.
Right, yeah, because you got this guy Trump in office today is his 100th day in office, and you hear the first day in office, all he's doing is drumming the war drum.
Yeah.
And these people are not liking that. They want to live in peace. They want to be in some type of rest because, you know, they believe, you know, that the war of terror is over there. You see what I'm saying? The war of terror is not here. We good. We got our our CIA and our FBI listening on phone calls. Okay, we gave you that, so it ain't gonna be no real hostility on their shores. So they, you know, but what Trump doing? Trump bringing it to them. He's actually dropping bombs. He's talking about the small man that live in Korea, right? He's talking about, you know, going against what Russia's doing. So he's beating the war drums, and these people are hearing it. You know what I'm saying? They're hearing. They don't like that. You know, they didn't protest Obama's first 100 days.
Nope.
They wasn't out here every weekend talking about down here in the mall every weekend for Obama. But they hear the war drum, so that's what they don't want to go to war, because they know what happens when our military go to war. Their sons go to war and die over there.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's why when all hell breaks loose, they're going to be looking to kill their politicians because of the pain that their politicians have brought upon them, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Got scripture.
Because, you know, when they're going to lose their children, man.
That's right.
See, these average Edomites, they're going to lose their sons and their daughters over there in the Middle East, man. You know?
Yep. This is Revelations 18:7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her.
Yeah.
See, that's.
No, you got me, because I was about to say that America's greatness was built off the deaths of the other nations, man. And that's what their glory is, man.
And this is where they want to stay.
Yep.
They want to stay in this rest, man. They don't want to be going to war.
Yeah, man. It says, and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
And that's what when you hear, because Trump made a speech at the NRA, the NRA yesterday, and he's talking about the greatness of America and bringing back the greatness of America. Well, the scriptures tell you otherwise. Now, from what I extrapolated from that speech, he's talking about that we're not going to ever come after the Second Amendment rights. He's either going to have to get assassinated, or he's going to become a major liar. You know, or he's going to be revealed, man, that he's nothing but a New World Order puppet, man.
And that's what he was talking up against, nationalism.
Yep.
You know, but then ultimately he's actually for that. You know, but he pulled the wool over everybody's eye.
Right, because anytime you say that you a nationalist, or you want to make America great, how was America founded? By the gun. And what he told the NRA, he's going to repeal all that Obama strings and loopholes that he wanted to bring about, and he just wanted, you know, he's switching up. They said a Trump office, right? Is all for the gun. So these Edomites, you know, that's they swore. They feel protected by their gun. You see what I'm saying? But they don't want to go to war. That's the only thing they want to do. They want to build up America. This is why they voted for him. They want to build America and not go to war. Look, they've been at war since 2001, man. 16 years. Constant war, constant battles. Taliban, then it's ISIS, then it's this, it's that. There's always something for the last 16 years. Our people, or the American people, have been at war. They tired.
Yeah, can I say something? That those wars, those wars, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now those wars hit your pocket, man. Them wars cost money. And when you go into the gas pump and you paying those hefty those fees, those tolls, they gotta make up somewhere, and they gotta make up for that.
They gotta close the gap.
They gotta close the gap, man. So the politicians are gonna keep on putting different fees and fines and taxes on the people, man, to pay for these wars, man. And eventually they're not gonna have anything. They're not gonna be able to pay, man. And that's what is going to lead to civil unrest, man.
Yeah, that's another thing the American people are tired of, being pinched in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So like you said, war costs. So it's going to cost someone.
Yeah, so you're going to have stacks upon stacks of things. Not only are they going to pay for these wars, but their children are going to pay for these wars too, because they're going to get shipped over there in the Middle East, man, and they're not going to come back. And it's going to be a great mourning to these women because they're going to lose their children, man, over here in these wars, man.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, this is Amos 3:17. Let me start at 16. Amos 3:16. Therefore saith the Lord, power of hosts, the Lord saith thus, wailing shall be in all streets, and they shall say in all the highways, alas, alas. And they shall call the husbandmen to mourning, and such are skillful of lamentation to wailing.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be wailing in the streets, man. See, these people think it's a game, man, but it's going to come a great time of sorrow in these streets, man. You know, it's not going to be like this no more. You know, the scriptures say, remember thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, implying that there is an evil day that's going to come. Okay?
It says, in all vineyards shall be wailing, for I will pass through thee, saith the Lord. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Yeah, because when the Lord comes back, that day is going to be a great and dark day, man. You know, people desire to see the day of the Lord, but I don't think they know what it's about. That's why that scripture says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Because when the Lord comes back, he's coming back to destroy, man. He's coming back to throw down, man. Go ahead.
It says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall and the serpent bit him.
Yeah, so you flee from a lion and then you got to deal with a bear. Or you put your hand on the wall and it was a serpent that bit you.
Well, you deal with Syria, you have to deal with Russia. So it's the same thing when you deal with Russia. And now here's this little man in Korea, Iran sparking up, China. So wherever you go, it's someone waiting for you, right?
Hey, it's the scriptures that says mischief shall be upon mischief.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to solve these crises that's coming down the pipeline that they've built up for themselves, man. See, now they kick the can down the road another week for the government shutdown. Now they gotta find a remedy for the government shutdown, and it's going to continue to be like this until you can't kick the can down the road anymore. You're going to have to deal with it, man. Yeah. This society should have already been collapsed, man. But it's just, it wasn't time. The Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, didn't want it to happen.
Let me bring this up. It's Isaiah chapter 13, verse 8. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces be as flames.
Yeah. When ultimately when they see them nuclear missiles coming from the sky, they're gonna be afraid, man. You know, when you people see it, well, the ones that live to see the nuclear missiles, because before the nuclear missiles come, it's gonna be famine, it's gonna be pestilence. They gotta get through that, you know.
Salaki, I thought this was it. So, terror shall make them afraid on every side.
I think that's Job.
Or Joel?
Yeah, Job.
No, that is Job. That is Job. Job 20. Right. Keep speaking now.
Yeah, because you know when they see those nuclear missiles, man, they gonna be afraid, man. You know, before those nuclear missiles come, it's just like this, an inhabitable city, and after total destruction, man.
Right. What up?
You know, all hell is getting ready to break loose, man, in this society. You know. Well, let me go back to the book of Luke. This is Luke 21, verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, confusion.
Yeah.
These different governments are going to be brought to confusion. They're not going to be able to solve their problems. They're not going to be able to appease the wrath of the people. When you people lose everything, you're going to lose it. Take a good look at your politicians, man. Because when you start losing your sons and daughters over there in the Middle East, you're going to want a piece of them.
All right, well, they're confused now. They don't know what to do. The money, the economy. You got the Brexit. You got Europe in an uproar. They don't know what they're gonna do, where they gonna go.
Elections.
You got the elections over in France. What's gonna happen?
Iran.
It's turmoil everywhere, and this is what Esau had put out. He put out these elections, this democracy, to confuse the people. See, when the election is fixed, it's like fixing a boxing match or a basketball game. This is what they're doing to the whole world, to all the governments, right? They fixing the outcome, you know, and it keeps the people in confusion because they don't know how to go about what they do. Do we save? Do we spend? You know, what do we do? You know.
That goes back to your typical Hegelian dialectic, you know, pressure from above, pressure from below. You create the situation, you create the circumstances in which these people are living in. You get it so bad to the point where the people come to you wanting a synthetic solution that you've already created for them, which is the chip. That's why you have, in my notes it said, big governments turn into world governments.
Sure.
And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing these big government turning into a world government, man. Right? Also, another thing, the synthetic solution that they're proposing, or that is already being implemented, is the mark of the beast, the chip.
Right.
You know, and that's coming. That's the synthetic solution. That's going to be the solution to all of these people's problems.
Yeah, and you know what? Synthetic always seem real. Synthetic seems that's the way to go. You see, so but they're gonna be taken by their own craftiness, man. So it says when with the fullness of thy sufficiency, you be in straits, man. And this is what's gonna happen. You got a scripture?
Yeah. Just Job 18:11.
Yep.
It says, no. Dang. I'm starting at 8. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare.
He set the trap, and he gonna get caught by the trap.
Right? Let me start up high, verse 7.
Hey, I don't know, brothers went fishing, but you throw that reel back in your ass, get caught with that hook. Yo, that's some hurting shit, yo.
My brother got hooked in his eyebrow. My pops reeled it back.
And he was standing right there.
No, actually, my pops did it to my brother. My bad. He hooked my pops in the eyebrow right there.
You got cooked. You got caught with your own device. This is what's gonna happen to Esau. Get caught with his own devices.
Yeah, I'm the firstborn son too. So I'm not the firstborn. And they got the same name. It's all good. But it says, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with them. The steps of his strength shall be straightened. Right? The steps of his strength shall be straightened. Because ultimately this is talking about Esau, and Esau is the one that developed this bomb. You know, so the steps of his strength, things that made him prevail, you know, is going to be take him out. You know, make him in difficulty.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, man. It says, and his own counsel shall cast him down. Brothers, I know brothers seen. I know you commented on it. You was commenting on it. The brothers, Manasseh and Kasap, they were going into Operation Paperclip, which it was a real good show. It was talking about how they took them German scientists, you know, and basically, you know, and perfected his blessing, you know. But guess what? And that whole thing is going to return upon his own head. You know, another example was Inglorious Bastards. Remember Inglorious Bastards? Remember the dude, he was specified to look for the rats and everything. And then towards the end, remember you thought they was gonna kill him. The Americans, so-called helping the Jewish people, if you will, they wound up yapping him. They wound up taking him and bringing him to America to pick his brain. And those are the same devices, those same how you call it? The same tactics that's going to be used here in America. The same tactics that was in Nazi Germany.
Yep.
The Reich, what do they call it? The Third Reich. Yep. The same tactics that they were using is going to be used here.
Yeah.
Remember they were stamping them back then. Now they're going to use an RFID chip.
Because IBM, the company IBM was back then.
Yeah.
Back there, you know. These different companies go back, man.
They're funding Hitler, man.
Yep.
You know, Prescott Bush, GM. You remember that documentary I used to watch? There's so much information. I used to watch that documentary like 3-4 times because so much information.
What's so great about that? What's so great about the Nazis? You know, the Nazis wasn't great, but the system was so perfected that it was working. It was working at first. They had Europe at a standstill, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had everybody at bay. If it wasn't for the Russians, you know what I'm saying? The Russians put an end to all that because he wanted to take over Russia too. You know, but at first it seemed the right thing, man. He was winning, man. He was winning on all fronts. And they thought, with linking up with Mussolini, when he was hooked up with Mussolini, he was going to take over the whole continent south, all that northern Africa, all that, you know, and that was his blessing, man.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, Mussolini couldn't do it.
No, he couldn't do it.
Hitler had to bail out Mussolini. But what happened was that blitzkrieg, that was one of the tactics that they used, similar to shock and awe. You heard shock and awe back during the Iraq War. So they used them similar tactics. Shock and awe, those are the military tactics, military maneuvers.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's what they use, you know, because Esau steals everything. But like you said, the same things that they use, the propaganda that Nazi Germany used, they took that notebook, the United States government took that page, and they used the same thing.
And what got, I remember they was making a comparison to Hitler and to Trump. You know, because Trump was about, Hitler was about nationalism, talking about how the foreign entities are plaguing us, you know, things of that nature. You know, so they stir up these same tactics. Not the tactics, but these same situations.
Yeah.
Because in order to operate on the tactics, you need the same situations.
Right. True.
So they implant the same situation, then use the same tactics. And then they conjure up the people's mind.
Yeah, you got to remember that when Hitler came into power, they was just coming out of Great Depression.
Right. See,
you know? And the people were vulnerable. Hitler was bringing back jobs. Everybody, you know, they got their rations. You know, the economy was booming.
Jobs.
You know, so Hitler, you know, Hitler was popular. You know.
Yeah.
And then Hitler got rid of all his opposition. You know,
he came about with the Volkswagen, you know, the Volkswagen car. He came up with building these cars because remember before the Great Depression, cars was just in the United States. So that's how they come up with a Mercedes-Benz, the Volkswagen. So the industry looked up. But what was he using? He was using Henry Ford. He was using Henry Ford, Prescott Bush to help him. You know what I'm saying? For the rubber, for the tires.
Who you resisting against?
See, that's that proud Edomite.
Yeah. You don't look at me like I'm crazy.
That proud look is going to be brought to naught, man. You know?
Con. Yeah. Yo, so basically Trump is in Hitler's stead, man. The same, going back to them same tactics, you know? Same situation. Everything is all coming right back, man. They're gonna use it they're gonna use it all over again.
It's a similar playbook being used.
Yeah. West Coast offense.
Yeah. These elites, it's nothing spectacular about what the elites do. It's just different dummies, man.
Yeah.
You know, these are the people. These are the Nazi. This is Nazi Germany type shit. 1937, before they went into Russia, and shit changed. They're about to open up a new front on the war. Remember when Hitler went over to Russia? He opened up that new front, and that was his downfall. Because they had got all of those gains and they couldn't supply their soldiers.
Same with Mussolini and all the ones before. And that's why Trump is blonde hair, blue eyes, man. Because he's the ultimate.
Yeah. The ultimate image.
He's the ultimate, what they call him. Aryan. He's a true Aryan, being blue-eyed, blue-eyed and blonde hair.
Yeah, he fits the image of
Israel for real for the first time in my life.
Okay, can you back up with the cigarette, please?
I'm sorry, I forgot about that. It bothers a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. You know, Israel's about to be wiped off the face of the earth, though.
I don't agree with Israel one bit. I'm a big critic of Israel.
Okay. But they're not the real. You know, Israel's a people before it's a place.
Okay.
So there was a man actually named Israel. That's how you get the Israelites. And that's to be an Israelite or be of Israel is truly a nationality. It's a race. It's not a religion, okay, or government. There's no such thing as the state of Israel.
So
it's all falsehood.
The term means peoples.
No.
It means a people.
It is a people.
The term means a family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A family. Israel was a man. He had 12 sons. Okay? Those Israelis are not Israelites that was in Egypt under slavery, that walked through the Red Sea with Moses. They were not there. They are Edomites.
Edomites. I've heard that word before. I don't know what it is.
Well, it's in the Bible.
He's the brother of Jacob.
What's the name of your doctrine?
Well, it's the truth, ultimately.
Well,
Anything that revolves around truth. You know?
Okay.
But the thing is there's a lot of lies out here. So how do you filter the lies?
Right.
The scriptures. You believe in the Bible?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So you understand that the one who the world called Jesus Christ, right?
I'm not.
You know who that is?
Jesus.
The one who the world called, the people who they say Jesus Christ, his name is in the Bible. His name in there is called Jesus.
Okay.
So what does he look like according to the Bible?
According to the Bible, well, I don't know if it was illustrated, but
It was written down Yeah, it was actually illustrated.
Did he look like this?
You know,
Did he look like this when he was on there?
I don't want to say yes, because why would he?
Okay.
Who the hell?
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's
who the
cool.
hell from that
For
part
truth.
of the world would look like that?
Exactly, that's the truth.
Yeah.
You're telling the truth.
Yeah.
What you got? Good Revelation.
Yeah, this is Revelations 1 verse 1.
Yup.
It says the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Yeah. So basically, the words that were written down were signified. Now, you understand what it means to be signified? When the ancient world, a signet, you would have like a ring, a king would have a ring and stamp it. That was a seal of approval.
I had a civil rights education. I mean, maybe that's a laugh for you guys, because a lot of it was, but that's what my degree is in.
Right. But hear me out first. Let's get to the point. Now, I would like to hear.
Signifying is an interesting word. I don't really understand.
Okay. I would like to hear the rest of what you have, but let's finish this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So the signet, the signification was the word of the Lord. So everything in here was true. Go ahead.
It says
Get to the point.
verse 12.
I'm patient.
Verse 13. This is verse 13. It says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot,
Right?
and gird about the paps.
So something similar to what we have. That's why we wear these garments, because it represents how we used to conduct in the ancient world. So he had a garment down to the foot. Go ahead.
It said, and gird about the paps with a golden girdle.
He had a golden girdle. Go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
His head and his hairs were white like wool. Here you go, bro. Your brother got the picture on his sword. His head and his hairs were white like wool. White woolly hair. Go ahead.
It says, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Because he liked to drink wine. All right? Because flame of fire represents red. His eyes were red. Go ahead.
It says, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace.
See his feet as if it's a fine brass. You know what brass is?
Of course.
Brown. It's a brown.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
And as if it burned in a furnace.
Yeah.
So typically your feet is like the lightest color of your body. So by process of elimination, he was a so-called black man. He was a very, very dark-skinned man.
I believe that. I believe that. I think the historical record proves it.
Yeah. Well, this is the historical record.
I think there's overlap with other historical records that confirm it.
Yeah. You're right.
They call them icons or paintings. You know, the paintings throughout Europe.
The illuminations, right?
No. I'm talking about actual painting, like you see on
the
this
original word icon.
Right on this window right here.
Icon.
Right. Those are supposed to be exclusively evil people. Those are icons. Those show evil people, right? But there was pictures of the 12 apostles.
Okay.
About Moses, King David, Solomon, all over Europe.
Because it was a family. It was a people. Just think about it. If you go into someone's home, you look on the wall. Immediately, most of the time, what do you have? You have pictures of your forefathers, your grandparents. You know, you have pictures of your uncles, your aunts, your family.
Right.
And that's what it was. That's why you see all the dark paintings of not dark, but you see the dark images of the people of the Bible in Russia. You had that even in certain cathedrals in Europe.
Definitely, especially the Greek Orthodox. They depict the saints as pretty much Africanized people.
So-called African, because there's a difference between the Africans and the Israelites.
Now here's something I have layman's knowledge on that I bet you have at least read about more than me. I believe that the empires of Egypt are depicted in an Anglo way. I think they've been literally whitewashed, and that they've always been an African empire. And there's a campaign in Britain during the Victorian era to make sure the mummy in your house was the right kind of mummy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, see, what happened is, let me get the covering cast over all people.
What is that, 60?
No. It's Isaiah 24, I think it is, or 29. Let's get that. Get you know where that's at? I get Job 9 and 24 then. You find that for me.
Job's described as a dark person.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And of course, so is Abraham.
That's right. Hey, well, you know. That's the truth of the matter. Because if you ask our people, if you ask our people, you ask the everyday person. Let's say the everyday person that walks down the street. What is what does Jesus look like, or what does Moses look like, or whoever? They'll either say it doesn't matter, or he looks like a so-called white person. Which that's a lie that inflated the whole earth.
I think he looks like Morgan Freeman personally.
That's crazy you said that. But let's bring out Job 9:24.
And I'm not just trying to appease you. That's why I honestly, these are my true convictions from my education.
So you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Okay. What's your father's nationality?
But I don't know what the purpose of God is.
Okay, we're gonna get there. We'll get there.
Well, I think you might be fooling yourself to say that the whole mystery has been revealed already.
Yes.
Yeah. Well. To who though?
Well, obviously, some people are going to be more informed than others.
Listen, exactly. Now, you said a whole mystery. It's not unto everyone. Remember, let's get that. You know, Amos 33, 3. You know I want.
All right, I'm patient. I really want to hear some sightings of this.
That's right.
The mystery
Guys,
has
it's giving me goosebumps.
Go ahead.
It's giving me goosebumps right now.
Go ahead.
This is Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing,
Right.
but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
Right. So if God doesn't do anything, he's going to reveal his secrets, his deepest, darkest thoughts, if you will, unto his prophets.
So a person like yourselves would feel really foolish not paying heed to such an obvious clue as to tune in. Put your ear to the ground.
Now. But the thing about it is that that's a gift.
Yeah.
To understand the scriptures, to understand the words of the Lord, it's a gift in itself. It's not something that we didn't roll out of the bed and say, let me read the Bible, let me read the Bible and figure this out and understand it. It didn't work that way. The Lord put his spirit on us and revealed it unto us. That's the difference.
And with every gift, you write a card that say who is from and who is
to. That's right.
To
and fro. That's right. That's right. Hey, that's the truth.
What do you guys do around the holiday season? What are the holy days for you?
The holy days are Leviticus the 23rd chapter. Those are the real holy days. The word holy means separate. Days is days. So the separate days, the days that are separate unto us as the days that were given unto our forefathers.
Exodus 12.
Yeah, that's another one.
Do you guys feast at the same time that
that's right.
Other Christians do?
Well, we're not the Christians. We're not who you call the Christians. We're the children of Israel. Basically, we're the prophets of the Lord. To be frank with you, we've been given the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven,
which is different from Christians.
Here's why I want to believe you, because if someone was the prophet of the Lord, they'd have to do something about it.
Yeah,
they couldn't sit on it.
No, you're right. You're exactly right. I'm
sorry for smoking around.
No, you're fine. Hey, look, man. I put it like this. This thing is not about color. You very well might be.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, but you very well might be one of us. You stay on point, brother. Stay on point.
What's your nationality?
Oh, I'm a mixed up person.
What's your father?
My father's a Hungarian man.
Yeah? Well, Eastern Europe, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot. In Eastern Europe, who ruled Eastern Europe?
Who ruled Eastern Europe?
Well, that's been handed over a lot of times.
Well, more recently, prior to the 1700s, it was the so-called black people. Hungarians, the Hungarians, Eastern Europeans, the Armenians.
Oh, absolutely about the Armenians. That's absolutely true.
The Czars of Russia.
Right. It's all the Mediterranean influence of Northern Africa.
Yeah. Well, those were Israelites.
Right.
They were the children of the. Those were the children of the Heavenly Father.
What I want to know is, and I'm not saying it's only this much, but even if 5% of what you were saying is true, which I believe more of it is than that.
Right.
Why is it so important? Why is it so important to suppress that form of Judeo-Christian thinking?
Okay, I'm gonna explain to you. You gotta give me.
Why do they take it so damn seriously to suppress this stripe?
Okay,
every other type of Christian.
Okay, got you. Second 67. Second Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, the mystery of iniquity being revealed. Because we gotta understand. Because I'm telling you who the righteous are. Remember, the children of Israel. You gotta know who the wicked are too. All right, because there's three characters in the Bible. You got the children of God, the children of men, and the children of the wicked. They all come from a specific seed.
Is that why you're in this town? To take the bull by the
Well, the Lord
horns?
put us in this town. Well, you got good observation. Well, let's bring that out.
And only the wicked will suppress the truth. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
Yeah, we're living in the times. Meaning, what's going to split the day? When is the last days? That's what Ezra is asking the angel. Okay, go ahead.
Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows?
Yeah, which shall be the beginning of the first and the end of it that follows. All right?
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau was born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Remember we talked about Esau and the Edomites?
They wrestled at the moment of birth for the blood right.
Well, I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I'm not gonna say you're wrong. However, they wrestled in the womb. That's what we do know.
Right.
Okay.
The birthright.
Well, you never know.
My understanding of the telling is that the firstborn son.
But let's just leave it at this.
Is the blood right.
That's right.
And
that's right.
And there was struggle.
Yeah, exactly.
Was to see
who
at
comes
the
out
moment
first.
who would be the one, and if it takes grabbing an ankle.
Exactly. I get you.
And the struggle.
Yeah.
Goes before even conception, is what it's saying.
As soon as you're. That's why I said what I said. Let's read the rest of it. Let's go. You're on point. Go ahead.
Thank you.
It says, for Esau is the end of the world.
Right.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right. So the end of the world, we all know this is the end. Wickedness is flourishing at an all-time high.
You cannot deny it.
Exactly. There's no way you're Edomite. There's no way you're Edomite.
Cannot deny it.
There's no way. You're more than like I believe you're Israelite.
Thank you.
Good.
My last name is Levy, so.
See, look. See,
my first name is Noah.
Yeah. Oh shit. Come on. You're an Israelite, man. You're an Israelite. Come on. It's evidence. Yeah. Go ahead.
The hand, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Ezra asks thou not.
Right. Now, basically, he got the answer to when is the end of the time, when Esau is ruling. Now before we do that, let's go to Genesis 25 and 21. All right? Because we're going to explain the whole scenario. We're going to go into what you said, because there's some more information.
Why? Then my question is, why is information of this
You
type?
pretty much answered it. You answered it because Esau wants that blessing. Esau being the so-called white man.
It's the same struggle, the same trickery.
Yeah.
So in a sense, your doctrine is being pulled by the ankle away from birthright.
Exactly. Basically being pulled away from our people. Because that's why when they
it's giving me chills, dude.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't want to bring race into it.
It is what it is.
Briefly.
You're not an Edomite. You're not white.
There's no way.
You're not
the
white.
African American experience isn't a literal transpose of the story.
Yeah, because it's prophecy. It's prophecy.
There is no more literal
right.
of an allegory that we've ever witnessed.
Right.
And it's 2,000 years after.
Right.
But still.
It's prophecy. Because it's prophecy. Remember we talked about the signet in the word of the Lord. It has to happen. Has to happen. Let's bring out the Genesis
25. Start from the beginning.
Yep. Genesis 25, 21.
Yep. Genesis 25, 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her and said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Right, keep going.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Keep going.
Wow, I've never heard this. Please, don't let me interrupt. This is so literal.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger.
Right, talking about future prophecy, because the elder was who? Esau. At the end of the day, Israel is going to get the blessing and the birthright, the kingdom of heaven. So Esau is going to be a servant to Israel.
So, in your meditations, when you feel the Lord, and I don't want specifics, but in the trend of a generation or at times, when will the Lord reveal himself again?
Well, he is right now. Because what? How do you know the word of the Lord? by the mouth of his prophets. The Lord is revealing himself. This is just talking season right now. The Most High, remember Egypt. Remember Pharaoh was holding back the children of Israel. But how did the Lord reveal himself? With those 10 plagues. Excuse me. With those 10 plagues. Remember, he brought darkness on the earth. It was lice, the firstborn children.
Yeah.
You know, all those happened. And then what did Pharaoh say? Whoa, what is this? The whole world understood. Why? Because when you read further, when you go into Joshua, when they were going to the land of Israel, Rahab the harlot said, we've all heard about your God. So when the Lord reveals himself, it's through wrath. But first he speaks. Now,
full of Elijah preparing the way.
Right. Now, ultimately, when the Lord speaks first, and them that can receive it, they'll understand and be blessed during the time of when the famine and pestilence and all the plagues happen on the earth again. Because that's all going to happen again. The Lord is going to reveal himself again.
But what I don't want to interject into this thought that you're giving me is fear. And how does that not occur?
Well, a fear is healthy.
Because what we're describing is
let's get Proverbs 1 and 7.
Okay. The moment when nothing makes sense anymore.
Well, to who? Okay, you can not get Isaiah 33 and 6. To who won't it make sense? It's gonna make a lot of sense to those that know.
You guys have big gatherings?
This now, you know, we got the brothers around the corner. You know, we have brothers in most states and everything. Not big gathering, this is it. Matter of fact, read Proverbs 1 and 7, then jump to verse 20.
Two or more gather together.
In my name, there I am in the midst.
So that's the greatest
Lord is
gathering.
present.
Right.
That's the greatest.
Let's read that.
Yeah, Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
See, the beginning of the... Read that again.
Yeah, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Okay?
But fools despise wisdom and destruction.
But fools despise what we have to say. Now, let's go to that.
You want it? Isaiah 33 and 6.
Listen to this.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
See? Now, if you got the fear of the Lord, then you have the knowledge. Now, the times is what? When all turmoil, all hell breaks loose. Said, look, the ones that have stability are the ones that are going to have the knowledge. Why? Because they had the fear. Ecclesiastes 12 and 1. Yup. Ecclesiastes. He's right there. You might as well.
12 and 1?
Yup, 12 and 1.
I'm saving a question, but I want to hear this after.
Yeah, this is
I got a good summary question.
Yup, cool. Let's hear this.
This is Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not.
See, the evil days are not here. The word evil means eve, meaning time, ill, meaning bad.
Okay.
The bad times are not really here. But it said, remember the creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days are not here. Yeah. Keep going.
Nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Well, the days of no pleasure are not here, but you're supposed to remember the Lord because you know that the days of no pleasure is coming. See what I'm saying? So that's the importance of the whole fear and the whole us being out here and warning the people.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yup.
What sacrifices, and it would be bad manners to ask me what sacrifices you have made. What sacrifices should a person with a heart for this make in their life that they aren't?
Where you going, Psalms?
Romans 12.
Okay, get what you got. Go to
This is Romans.
But I mean, it applied to now, and I want to know.
Yeah.
I want after you hear it, what you think about 2017 meaning to that.
Right. Let this brother bring out what
now,
he got.
You probably don't think it's 2017.
We're not going to get into those technicals.
That's true. You know what I meant by that.
Yeah,
this
definitely.
Year.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to be insulting.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren.
Meaning beseech you, meaning I'm begging you.
I ask of you.
Yeah, I'm more so begging though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
By the mercies of God, that you present your body a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Now, what you have to do is go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. What you got?
I hate Isaiah 66.
Yup.
So that's the sacrifice.
Your body in service of God.
Right.
Holy.
But let's see how to serve the Lord. Go ahead. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12.
Yes. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. And further by these, my son, be admonished, of making
being managed, meaning being warned. Go ahead.
Of making many books, there is no end.
Right, because there's a lot of philosophies out here. There's a lot of
there's all these ideas.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And much study is weariness of the flesh.
Keep going.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Right.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
See, keep his commandments. Now the whole world, they'll tell you what. The typical person pick up the Bible and tell you what. The commandments are done away with. You don't got to keep the laws. But that's the whole conclusion
What was
of the
that
matter.
of the flesh line one more time?
It says, let us hear the flesh. It says, much study is weariness of the flesh.
Yeah, because you're trying to you're wearing yourself out trying to figure out everything. You just need to get the basis.
Sounds like a biography for anybody who gives a crap.
Yeah, exactly. Jeremiah 23 and 11. Jeremiah, you can get that. Bring what you got.
Yeah, this is Psalm 51 verse 17. It says the sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart.
Yeah, so read that again.
Yeah, it says the sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart.
Yeah, a smashed mind, meaning you come to a lower state. And then when you become to that lower state, that's when you pray unto the Lord. That's what the sacrifice is, because sacrifices are also with words.
So yeah, it's an erosion of layers. So that's kind of what I see.
Right. Yeah, there's a beginning stages.
There's baggage.
Yeah, there's a beginning stage. That's right, there's a beginning stage. You got to start from somewhere. The beginning stage is what? I'm nobody, I need help, I need God, I need his son, which is the Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, his son's name is Yahweh Shai.
Okay, I saw that.
Cool. So what happens is you pray, you beg unto the Lord to show you the right path. That's a sacrifice.
Well, this is personal. I'm going to get personal. Tell me one of your sacrifices you made when you discovered this.
Where we give up our lives. Because the scripture says what? That we give away our pleasures. Me personally, I wanted to go to the NFL. You know, I played semi-pro football. I was around people that got big contracts, talented people and all that. I would have people around me. But I said, when the word of the Lord came unto me, I said, look, I can't pursue that dream anymore. So that was a sacrifice, putting away yourself. Remember the scripture says what? Any man that loveth his father, his mother, his children, his own self, more than me, cannot be my disciple. So the sacrifice is giving up your life, making your body a living sacrifice, and serving the Lord. How do you do that? Going to the Lord, establish commandments, hearing the word of the Lord, coming out in the streets and hearing the word of the Lord.
And doing it.
Because anybody can hear it, but you got to do it. Right. Because the things that are the truth about the Bible is contrary to what this society believes. This society believes that you can't judge them. This society believes that you could do whatever you want to do.
Let me ask you a tough question.
I'm listening.
Are the souls of the unbelievers worth anything to you?
Well, when you do
worth anything in this universe?
Right, one thing at a time. The word soul. When you deal with the word soul, hey brother, what's going on? I'm alright. Yeah. When you deal with the word soul.
Can I get you guys some drinks, man?
No, we're fine. We're fine. Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it though. Appreciate it. You know, the Lord looks at that, what you just said too. Now what happens is the word soul, right? The souls, there's two words. You can mean spirit, meaning the spirit that's in you, or you can mean the actual soul, which means literally the word soul is the pash, which represents your body. But are you talking about the spirit within somebody?
I couldn't even tell you that I would be able to specifically put my finger on the soul, and I think,
okay, that's cool.
But I think you know what I mean.
Okay, you talking about, well, spirits don't die.
What I mean is someone who lived outside of this understanding and actually went further and denounced it.
Right.
Okay, and maybe had no other religion to even replace it, and just lived as what some people might describe a heathen. Are they worth anything when it's all said and done, and when all the chips fall?
Yeah.
Are those individuals worth anything in the kingdom of heaven in the eyes of the Lord?
They're going to pay too. They're worth it, and they're going to pay. They have a payment. There's a payment. Let me explain something to you. There's something in the Bible. This might freak you out or whatever the case is, but it's the truth, and we can explain it if you wanted more details on it. But if not, we'll move on. There's something in the Bible called reincarnation. In the Bible, you have reincarnation.
Lazarus.
Well, Lazarus was synonymous. You know, Lazarus was my bad. There's two Lazarus.
The Holy Spirit.
Right. No, listen. No, the brother's right. We had Lazarus that was the Lord Yahweh's friend, Mary's brother. He died, and then the Lord brought him back to life.
Yeah.
That's more like
back in the flesh.
Well, that's more
regeneration.
The regeneration. That's
restoration.
You can say that. It's more regeneration or resurrection. His spirit left out his body. He was dead for 3 days, and he came back. The Lord put the spirit back in his body. What I'm talking about is something more so you lived 3 or 4 generations prior. That's what I'm talking about. Meaning you lived in a body, it died, it went into earth, you went up to the heavens, came back down now for this time. That's what I'm talking about.